In fact, precisely because I don't like this business that we are ruled from somewhere. We are just useless. We can't even exchange our money. At times, if we've got our own money, it's just a paper, which means nothing. It is absolutely important that we, as African people, together with the brothers and sisters, we should come together more and have our own. I proposed in that meeting that we should not follow the dollar.
Okay.
Our own organization must create its own money.
Okay.
Because already the oppressors have been put under pressure because we are now acting in a particular way. So we need to have our own African money, not of other people, because I think we've got the strength to do so. So I know all these countries, whether the British or whatever, but we need, it needs us to come together to say, this is us now, we are here, let us do our own things. The coming in of our brothers and sisters from abroad is one of the strong things that is going to happen to quicken the process, taking into account that they have been there, they've been there, now we all say Africans must come together. I'm sure we are going to succeed, including not depending on the money paper which comes from other places. These are some of the things we are going to be discussing here. How do we do it? How do we make it work? And I'm sure many Africans will realize this is the way to go. I've been here and I've come and peace, there is peace in this country. Peace, just peace. People who are busy working, they're all over. That's how a country should be, develop itself. So I am going to say they must fully support the leadership here. Well, the leadership is not going just to help Burkina Faso. It's going to help the continent. And therefore, we must come together. And they must. I also got things which were very useful. I was told by the people and the comrades here that the leader who is here is demanded by the people of this country because they realize this is the leader. From my own view, I've got views about things. I believe that this question of having elections all the time is actually the thing that our colonizers brought in order to be able to direct us whatever direction. Because you could have a good man, like a man in this province, and then suddenly you go for elections. He's doing everything right, going to elections. And then the colonizers give people money to buy some other people they wanted to come so that they can control. That's elections. The man who is right, running the country correctly, goes away. Somebody else comes in, messes up. I think these are the issues as Africans we've got to talk about. I'm happy that the people here are saying this leader must be here, fix the country. That's what we need. We don't just need to have elections and elections, because there we are not in control. So as far as I'm concerned, you must keep the leader who is here. Just keep him. So that we can all fix the continent. We cannot be taking other people out, put other people who belong to other people. So as far as I'm concerned, the population here is doing very well. What I heard here. I hope even in our own country, we'll think how to make what we do correct for our people, continue until we complete our journey. Because otherwise, those people who are out there are going to be just messing up, as far as I'm concerned, and they don't care. They kill people. This country has an example, a leader that we loved so much. They put money to kill a leader and to cause chaos. I think as Africans, let us have our own thinking. And I think this is what we're going to begin to do with the leaders here.
Yes, here we are. The hold is good that the former president of South Africa, Mr. Jacob Zuma, spoken in Ouagadougou, Burkina Faso, when he visited Captain Ibrahim Traoré. Brothers and sisters, you heard a lot from Jacob Zuma talking about single African currency, and also he's spoken about the issue of unit and also the issue of elections in the continent of Africa. So please share with us your opinions, share with us your views. What do you think about Africa to have a single currency? Why we need single currency in the continent of Africa, and why Zuma supporting Burkina Faso's democrats and not this Western democrats. So please share with us your views, your opinions. So I'm going to share my thoughts from what President Zuma has spoken, starting with the issue of single currency. And of course, President Zuma is arguing and asking Captain Ibrahim Traoré to bring African leaders together to end the dependence on the US dollar, calling for the creation of single currency that will restore economic power, dignity, and sovereignty to the continent. Zuma, of course, warns that Africa will never be free as long as it trades using foreign currencies controlled by those who once colonized us. He calls on Captain Traoré, the rising symbol of African liberation, to lead a united movement that will break the chains of exploitation and build a future where Africans control their own wealth. Of course, we need single currency by this time. And if we are really concerned about the unity of this continent, trading among ourselves, we have this Africa Continental Free Trade Area. If we are really concerned about Africa Continental Free Trade Area, we need to have a single currency. If you try to ask yourself, which currency are we going to use into the AFTA, Africa Continental Free Trade Area? We know if you go in South Africa, you find land. If you go to Namibia, you find Namibian dollar. If you go to Zimbabwe, Zim dollar. If you go to Botswana, you find the Pula. If you go to Ghana, you find the CD. If you go to Nigeria, Naira. Burkina Faso, CFA franc. Tanzania shillings, Kenya shillings. Go to Zambia, you find the kwacha. So we have a lot of currencies. So which currency are we going to use as we trade among ourselves? Yes, we can say we are using dollar if we trade maybe with America or with others. But we assume we are trading ourselves within the continent. We don't need to go out there. We want to trade among ourselves. Which currency are we going to use? Are we going to use US dollar when Burundi and Tanzania are going to trade? When Mozambique and South Africa are going to trade? Which currency are we going to use? Nigeria and Burkina Faso, which currency are you going or are we going to use if we are going to trade among ourselves? And that's why President Zuma is insisting Africa to have a single currency. Single currency is very, very important right now for the continent of Africa to make sure that we achieve Africa continental free trade areas. If we depend on other currencies, those who own that currencies can sabotage. Yes, you have resources, you want to trade with your neighbor. And some countries we know have been sanctioned. For instance, Zimbabwe is under sanction. How can Zimbabwe trade with Namibia while we know that Zimbabwe is under sanctions? Zimbabwe is not allowed to use US dollar. How can Zimbabwe and Namibia trade? How can Zimbabwe and South Africa trade? And that's why we are saying we need single currency that will bring Africans into a single table or single market where Africans will trade among ourselves. And all of these things is because of disunity. Disunity has created Africa to think that we don't need to have our own currencies because business is running. We can use euro, we can use dollar, so things is okay. But we must understand the time will come when these people will also charge us for using their currencies. To every transaction that we are doing, America or European Union are getting commission. And also they're tracking our businesses, our trades. So we are not okay, we are not safe. And that's why President Zuma has insisting the issue of Africa to have a single currency. So this is the issue of African leaders to decide. It is the issue of political wills. So let us wait and see if this will happen. Also, Zuma has spoken the issue of elections. And of course, these things has been saying many times that democracy is a scammer and democracy is a tool being used by Western power to divide Africans. Recently, I created a video talking about, let me cross check. I created a video almost 2 days ago. I created a video. Let me give you the title. Yeah, the video when Malema told President Boko to remove U.S. military base in Botswana. I said it is possible for President Boko to remove U.S. military base in Botswana. The question is, if President Boko will do so, I give an example of President Boko. Next election, those who own that base will support opposition. So they will make sure that they give money and support opposition leader or opponent to make sure that President Boko is not coming back to power, even if President Boko is doing very well. So election is being used as a tool to divide Africans and to put leaders who they want, who are serving their interest. And that's why you see in many African countries, in every election, you find that people are fighting each other. People are going into the streets. You have seen what happened in Cameroon, in Tanzania, and other parts in Kenya. That's because sometimes citizens want someone, but the systems, the world don't want someone because they fear someone that if someone will become a leader, he will not or she will not serve the interests. That's what they're doing. So I think President Zuma has explained very well that these elections that we have right now in the continent is not compatible to Africans. Sometimes it's being used to replace leaders and to put those whom they want. President Zuma has given example on the issue of Thomas Isdor Sankara, how Sankara was removed. Some of us are being paid to sometimes to remove our leaders from power. But all in all, it's because of these things that we call elections. So I support the leadership of Sahel for banning political issues. And of course, you may say politics is good. Yes, I know politics is good. But right now, let us pause a little bit. This politics of demonstrations, politics of fighting each other must come to an end, brothers and sisters, because it is not health for we, the people of Africa. I know people love, they are saying we need freedom of speech. It's good, and also myself, I love to speak. I speak with you, brothers and sisters. Let us find a way that will keep leaders into power for a long time. Leaders who are good. Let us find a way how we can accommodate good leaders in the continent of Africa. That's what we need to do. For instance, look, right now we are talking about Traoré. Traoré is doing very well. Everyone is appreciating. But if today Burkina Faso will say we are going into election, I'm sure this powerful nation, because Traoré has taken control of natural resources, gold, they will find someone and sponsor him or her to compete with Traoré, to make sure that Traoré is going out. Even if Traoré will win the election, they will use opposition to create chaos in the country. That's what they're doing. So we need to be careful, brothers and sisters. We need to be vigilant with these things we call democracy and election in general. And of course, democracy does not mean periodic election. We can have our own ways. Look what is happening right now in China. China is moving in the right direction. As they have this kind of things that we are doing in the continent of Africa, where people are moving in the street all time, people are demonstrating. No, let us get the time for we Africans to do work. Let us give the time for leaders to perform instead of fighting with each other. And have been saying this, take this to me. If we don't find the best way to govern ourselves, if we continue with this system in the near future, Africa will be ungovernable. We are going to fall into civil war in many African countries. Because right now we have high number of young people who are jobless. High number of young people who are jobless. If these young people are not going to be accommodated well, and we are not going to have good systems of leadership, these young people will be used by those who want to destabilize Africa. Some will be sponsored, some have already given scholarships, will come back to our countries and starting fighting with the systems. And these are already designed. This is designed. Take this from me. In the near future, we are going to fall into civil war if we don't change the way of governing ourselves. So, for instance, right now you see Traoré is doing everything, trying to do his best. He bought tractors, giving to young people, building their roads. He bought agricultural equipment, giving to young people and farmers to make sure that they produce their own food, they feed themselves. So, if we are not going to hold and to protect Traoré, of course, right now they're saying they're trying to push their agenda. You know, there's no human rights in Burkina Faso, there's no freedom of speech. But we see things is going on, and we don't see the people of Burkina Faso lamenting, except those planted people, puppets. You know, in every country, even in the kingdom of God, we say devils were angels before. So they went against God. So even if we are, many of us, we are okay, but within ourselves we find also perpetrators, we find betrayers and puppets. So, but I'm sure things is going very well in Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. So, in the rest of the continent, we need to follow the same suit. We need to follow the same suit. We need to say, when after election, let us go into work. After election, let us go into work. Let us find the best way to find good leaders in this continent or in your countries, not in this Western democracy. You know, right now, these things we have right now, the political parties, and I've been saying this many times, these political parties Many of them are being sponsored from the West. They call friendly parts. They're being sponsored to make sure that when they took power, they serve the interest of those who sponsored them. That's what's happening. That's what is happening in this continent. So as Africans, I think we need to find the best way to govern ourselves and to move away on this issue of presidential, these periodic elections. It's a good idea, but right now it is not working. It is not working. The democracy of US cannot be the same as the democracy of Burundi. UK democracy cannot be the same with Nigerian democracy. So we have to find our best ways to govern ourselves as Africans. So, brothers and sisters, I'm sharing this purposely for we as Africans to know what we want and to see how we can achieve what we desire. The issue of the unity, brothers and sisters, we have been spoken this issue many times. And we continue to speak about the issue of unity, because without unity, all the things that we are talking about will not come into action or into a reality. So we need to make sure that African leaders coming together, support each other, make sure that we have common vision, common mission. If we are talking about industrialization, let us support each other. There are some countries that have resources. Let us use resources for the benefit of the entire region or for the entire continent. So if we do like that in unity way, unity of purpose, I'm sure this continent will change and we'll get jobs, we'll have peace. Right now we are suffering with insecurity because of disunity. Disunity within ourselves, within our families, within our communities, within our countries or nations. That's why you see sometimes we fight each other. We have good example what is happening in Sudan. Without unity, Sudan is divided and now into three. You remember Sudan was one, after southern part discovered oil, divided into two Sudan, whole Sudan, South Sudan. Then they didn't end there. They went to Sudan, whole Sudan, and they divided old Sudan into two parts, where now, right now, two generals are fighting each other. That's how they're doing. We know that Sudan is a producer of gold and also is strategic, has a strategic area in the Red Sea. That's what they're fighting for. So, brothers and sisters, unity is very important for us. Let us come together, let us unite, let us make sure that we support one another, we see each other as brothers and sisters, and let us stop self-hate. Because what if we stop self-hate, if we see each other as brothers and sisters, mothers and fathers, we will respect each other. There's no need for us to see others as foreigners, others as different people. We are one. Whether we are in the continent or we are in the diaspora, we are in the Caribbean, everywhere where we are Africans. So let us love each other. Let us say Ubuntu. Thank you.
Thank you, Africa, Mama Africa. Oh, yeah. You make Africa great. Thank you, Africa. Thank you, Africa.